so glad I ignited Cassia though. Oh my gosh. She's like absolutely insane. And look at this fever time. Oh my god, look at that crit damage. This is why Theo is broken. Like, who does this? Wait, rubbing it in. Okay, I'm sorry. Maybe I should stop streaming this game. Free to play. Why did you say free to play with such a frail voice? I've never spent on DC. Day one free to play. Asuna, I'm not even free to play, man. I've spent a decent amount on gems and stuff. Okay, the Rin package was a must. I had to get my trap. You are convinced to swipe a little bit too easily to be free to play? Well, I don't swipe anymore. I haven't swiped in probably a year, honestly. If Tamamo had that skin, do not tell me you wouldn't be tempted to purchase it. Not even for the Onyx and Gold package? No, I have not. I have not done so. You only have 5 Discord servers? Yes. I only go in my Discord, honestly. I'll go in the Destiny Child International one's good, but the other ones are kind of trash. Okay, let's see. Here is Hugo's team. What do I disagree? What do I disagree about here? I think your placement is very bad. I would recommend to put Guillotine, Theo, Mott, Lupin in the front row. Put Werewolf, Rusalka, Navi in the back row. And you can put Altered Davi in the back row as well. Also, don't follow this guy. I can't click him because it's banner. But don't listen to this guy. Okay, look at this. This guy thinks he's funny. You're hilarious. So here's my lineup. You will want the majority of your water type units in the front row, excluding the attackers. And the reason why is because when you fever time, you will only fever the attackers, so more damage. Okay, and then we have the important units that you want their slide cooldown reduced in the back row, because we have this amazing unit here. If we look at her slide, on world bosses, slide skill cooldown -2 seconds for 2 turns, and slide skill damage plus 60% for 20 seconds for 5 allies in the back row. So you will ideally want those 5 units that you want the cooldown reduced in the back row. It's not only if ignited. Slide skill cooldown -2 seconds on world bosses for 2 turns, and slide skill damage plus 1k for 5 allies. Position your units like this in the back row. We have Navi here, which is important. Bathory, Lewin, Werewolf, Nubimona, Citri. Very, very important to have in the back row. What about drive order? The drive order, everybody seems to be going with Theo into Mercury and ending with Guillotine. Now, I've seen some players trying the Theo into Arat and ending with Guillotine, because Arat has the drive gauge plus 150, and the fever is very important during this world boss because of the crit damage. I didn't find too much of a difference with the Arat second drive, so I'm just using the standard rotation there. As for leader skills, I found the Cassia leader skill to be best for me. I'm running Thetis, which is this second unit here, and the good thing about her is that she's water type, of course, so the Cassia leader skill will reduce her slide cooldown by 1 second, which is nice. And she also extends debuffs here on the slide skill, which is also amazing. All right, so I would move, okay, this is almost perfect. I would move Babel to the second slot here, so he can disable Wyatt's as soon as possible. Thisbe in the third slot, and then just move them all down one. But yes, this is very good. Cassia leader skill is good, but she only increases the slide skill damage. So if you want, you can also test the Mafdat leader skill, since you're running a tap-based attacker. And also make sure to run a werewolf on slide tap, since you are running a tap unit. Nice, Hugo. Look at this. 40 mil. Let's go. The second lesson of the stream. Let me see. All right, let's go into the equips. All right, to answer Kiru's question, should you always keep prisms? Prisms, it depends on the Carta. So if we have a terrible Carta, like let's say we aren't using SOW anymore and it's prism, you can fodder it, because if we're never going to use it, you might as well just upgrade the better soul Carta. If you don't have at least 20 Cartas, I would say just keep everything until you can start filtering. As for Showtime, here is Showtime. Debuff evasion, what is that? 16% when equipped. Now this is Prism. You will want to use this for all of your PvP units, the front row of World Boss, because they're receiving the attacks first. Another tip with the World Boss is that for your back row, they don't need armor. So you see, well, I don't know why she has no armor, because I have her in the front row. So for your back row units, they don't need your top tier equips. So you can see here units like my Navi and Bathory, they don't have armor pieces. So if you're lacking equipment, just put the best equips on the front row. To go back to the soul Cartas, I'm going off topic a bit. Okay, I'll rate the soul Cartas. This new Carta is very good. It increases the incoming debuff duration by 12% on world bosses. So let's say Navi hits a debuff on Wyatt, it will increase the duration by 12%, which is very nice, because those top tier debuffers you have in the back row, they'll have a longer duration of the debuff. So that's a good Carta. This Carta is very nice. It increases the slide skill damage by 8% in raids. So if you're using a slider, definitely hold on to this for your dark units. This soul Carta, another good soul Carta here. When equipped, increase skill gauge by 7% when hit on world bosses. So this helps for your front row supporters. If they're hit, they will have the skill gauge increased. So if you have a unit that has good sustainability, it has an equip option like the debuff evasion for your accessory. You can see here the second option here on the accessory S class. Of course, it's hard to get, which is why I only roll during the double rate event. It increases the debuff evasion by a certain percentage. So you could ideally run this accessory on a supporter and say, okay, screw the Showtime, because I already have good debuff evasion, and then we're going to give her the soul Carta that increases the skill gauge charge amount, which is this one. So they will get more slides off. This soul Carta here adds 2% skill gauge on an incoming hit. Now this isn't tied to you're picking up what I'm putting down? Okay, cool, Dio. At least you and Multi are listening. Nah, but this soul Carta is very strong as well, because this isn't tied to a certain event, and it isn't tied to a certain class of unit. So Change of Air is very strong because it has 2% skill gauge added on an incoming hits, and it is also HP and defense. So this Carta is completely broken for your any unit in any event, basically, besides the attacker.